Welcome to another episode of Dynamic Diecasters, where this week we're going to continue our Ghostbusters Ecto-1 build, with this one being issue 19, or stages 67 through 70. So with that, when we come back, we'll go ahead and get started on stage 67.
If there's something strange in the neighborhood, who you gonna call?
Welcome back. Like I said before the break, we're going to be working on stages 67 through 70 of the Ecto-1 build. And this is actually the last full box I have with the Eaglemoss defunction, or whatever you want to call it, with them going bankrupt basically. So hopefully it'll be picked up, but if not, this will be the last. I think we might have one more video after this one for the mods that I have to install, that I have through this point, but this will be the last one we do until somebody picks them back up, for at least Ghostbusters anyways. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started on stage 67. It looks like stage 67 is going to be lights. If you guys saw the last episode of the Ecto-1, we were installing the lights onto the switches and the lights onto the car, and this looks to be a continuation of it. I think this is the roof. Yeah, it's the LEDs for the roof lights for the Ecto-1, and that's pretty much, there's this little piece in here, so I'm going to make sure I take that out just in case I need that. But for the most part, we've got the Federal 19 Propello Ray LED, the Whelen HRDF 200 Strobe LED, the front deck light LED, the rear deck light LED, and the Code 3 Force 4 XL LED, and then a Code 3 Force 4 XL extension wire. So with that, I'll go ahead and I'll install all these onto the car, and I'll show you what it looks like when we get back. See you in 30 seconds-ish. And that's it for stage 67. It took me a minute because I forgot that we had extra wires from stage 65. So it took me a minute to realize that. I'm sitting there trying to install the wires from this stage, and I couldn't because they didn't match up to the wires coming out of the PCB. But once I remembered I had another box in there with wires in it, it got easy. So anyhow, so we installed all of these wires right in here. So basically, if you look here, these in my hand, when I turn on the switch and I hit the roof switch on the dash, they will all light up, doing what they're supposed to do. You'll see at least what they were designed to do. I've heard they don't really match up with how the lights are really supposed to work, but then who knows? We'll see when we actually install them. And then the Code 3 wires, you see they're not on right now, but there's a little switch on each one that if you turn on the switch, they all turn on. So literally at this point, and I'll show you both of them, but literally at this point, the only thing that's not working, and if you guys saw the last episode, it's when I hit this main switch, the dashboard light, and I think I'm not sure what other lights are supposed to come on at that point, but they don't. Everything else works in the wiring, so I'm not sure what the exact issue is. But anyway, with that, we'll go ahead and move on to stage 68, which I think we start moving into the actual outside of the car at this point. So the stage 68, and I'll move this off to the side. I may not need this the rest of today, so I'll just set it out over here for the time being. This is the parts for the body front frame and the associated parts related to it. So we'll go ahead and go through these and then do what we have to do with this stage. I don't see it being a whole heck of a lot because, like I said, there's only like 5 pieces in total and 5 screws. So I'm not sure how much of this I'll actually be dealing with in this stage, but just so you see how big this car actually is. Well, you can see when I was showing you the actual car, but this is the front frame of the car, just the front, and you see how big it is compared to me. So this is just a massive car. And then body front frame left, and then body front frame right. Then we've got a hood lock pin, which is a little tiny piece in here. I'm not going to pull it out because it's tiny. And then we've got engine information plate that's in here. It's also very small. And then an adhesive strip. And then lastly, we've got the screws. Like I said, there's one BP screw and then there's 4 BM screws. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started on the stage, and I'll show you what we did when we come back. See you in a few seconds. And that's it for stage 68. That was actually really fast. I figured it would be, but so all we did was we installed the left and right body frames. Then we installed the hood and lock pin right here, and then we also put in the engine information plate right in this corner. You guys can't see it, it's very tiny, but that's all we did for this part. I'll put that over there. The next stage is basically I think it's the middle part of the body frame. So there's another 4 parts in here, but as you can see how big this box is, it just tells you how big the car is. If I can get this open. Christmas gift, or a gift on Christmas Day, with how big this thing is. So we'll go ahead and go through the parts. There aren't very many of them. The biggest one being the body middle frame. So like I said, you saw the front that I just did, so that'll be right here, and then we'll have the back part, which will be stage 70. Back here, so we'll have a full built up frame, I think, possibly by the end of today's episode, but we'll see. Sorry about the noise. Like I said, this is the body middle frame. Then we've got steel wires, which is I don't know if I saw those. I don't see those, and I'll have to look in the package. Oh, there they are. They were hidden in the top. Gosh dang. Here's one of them. They're basically invisible in this plastic encasement that they put this stuff in. So there's 2 steel wires, then we've got wire cover A, B, and C, which are on this right here. And then we've got 3 PP screws and then 5 LM screws. So like I said, I think we're gonna be putting something on this, maybe the front frame onto this. in this stage, since we don't yet have the back yet, which will be in the next stage. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started, and I'll show you what everything looks like at the end of the stage. See you in a few minutes. And that's it for stage 69. So what we did, as you can see, we took the middle frame that we got in this issue and we installed the front frame to the that we got in stage 68. So that's the first part we did in this episode. Then the second part, we actually installed the lighting and the wiring. We routed the wires in the front headlights. So that's where we're sitting currently through stage 69. I think stage 70 is the back part of the car. So we'll go ahead and I'll move this out of the way so we can see something. And then complete the episode for today. And like I was saying early on, this will be one of the last episodes for the Ecto-1 for a while, because I don't have any more boxes at this point. With Eaglemoss going under, this was the last box I actually got. So I think I've got one or two modification boxes that I can strewn about through here, so I might have one or two more episodes of Ecto-1, but we'll see. So the first part is the body rear frame, like I was saying before. And then we've got the rear door kick frame right here. We've got the rear door catch, which is right here, little tiny piece. And then we've got 3 QP screws, 1 BM screw, and then 4 HM screws. So not much happening with this one. So I would envision at the end of this stage, we're gonna have the complete, the pretty much intact body frame at this point. So when we come back in 30 seconds, I'll show you what we did. And that was it for stage 70. So like I was telling you guys, we would put the back end of the car on there. So really this was the whole stage, was we added the kick plate to the back of the vehicle, the rear door catch, and then we attached the rear part to the frame. So you see how big the damn frame is. I know you guys have seen the car, so it's obvious that it would be big, but it's hefty. So with that, that's the conclusion of this episode. And I've continued to say it throughout the episode, this will be one of the last Ecto-1 build episodes for a while. I'll probably put in a modification episode in between somewhere. Not sure when, but you'll see one episode at least. But the next episode, I believe, will be a DeLorean episode. And I think that's the last box I have of the DeLorean for right now as well. So that after that, then we'll start seeing the newer builds that we've got in the pipeline coming up. The solar system, which could have been started a lot earlier, but hadn't been yet. But we've also got the Knight Rider build and the Titanic build that will replace these two. So with that, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And if you did, and you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, go ahead and like and subscribe to our channel. And hit that bell so you get notified when new episodes come out. But for all of us at the Heart of Geek, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Dynamic Diecasters, and we'll see you in the next one. Have a good night.